Aloha, everyone. If you can please take your seats. The time is 12:12. We are going to start the Committee on Legislative Approvals and Acquisitions. Appreciate everyone's patience as we're starting a little bit late today. Mr. Clerk, do we have any testifiers? Oh, I'm sorry. Members present. Councilmember Kagiwara, Councilmember Hustis, Councilmember Inaba, Councilmember Kaniali Kleinfelder, and somewhere is Councilmember Galimba. I am the chair of this committee, Councilmember Kimball. All right, now, Mr. Clerk, if you would please, do we have any testifiers at the beginning of the agenda?
Thank you, Committee Chair Kimball. We do. We have to start out here. We'll start with Tuankona, and then we'll take some testimony from our courtesy sites in Zoom. And the first Tuankona would be Kanani Inos and Kainalu Kilikuli Grace. Are either of them available? Yes? Okay, if you could come forward to this table here. Unfortunately, it looks like only the microphone on the left-hand side, your left-hand side, is working. Yes, sir? And if you could just start out by stating your name. Please have a seat. And to activate the microphone, there's a button at the base there. It'll turn red when it's functional. Just push that button with the green sticker on it. Okay, and you have 3 minutes. Just start out by saying your name. Please proceed. Thank you very much.
Aloha, my name is Kainalu Kilikuli Grace. I'm a lineal descendant of Napo'opo and a Hawaiiana for Hoala Kealakekua Nui. I support the funding for Kokua Kealakekua. The acquisition of this land allows us to restore not only the property, but our entire ahupua'a through konohiki practices that have been passed down to us from Ike Kupuna and past generations. This land will also provide an amazing opportunity to educate and connect visitors and community members to our waiupana. Yeah, mahalo nui for the opportunity to submit testimony.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Are you Miss Enos? If you could just move over to the other chair. I don't think that microphone's working, and then kind of moving the microphones kind of helps them not to work. So you are good to go. If you could just start out by stating your name. No need to push any buttons. You are active and ready to go. You'll have 3 minutes. And again, just start out by stating your name. Thank you so much.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Kanani Inos. Aloha Chair Kimball, Vice Chair Onishi, and council members. I'm the Director of Cultural and Community Affairs with Hoala Kealakekua Nui. I'm born and raised in Kapalilua, South Kona, with lineal ties to the areas that span from Miloli'i to Ho'okena to Ho'onaunau to Kealakekua to Ka'awaloa. I'm here to humbly ask for your support in passing Resolution 55226, which authorizes the Director of Finance to acquire a conservation easement over the Kuakua Kealakekua property, essentially helping us with our goal of purchasing and protecting this special piece of aina for community and cultural stewardship. Acquiring this property will enable us at Ho'ala Kealakekua Nui to restore this historic place to the gateway to Kealakekua and its cultural and natural resources that it once was, as well as assist us in our efforts to protect Kealakekua and Ka'awaloa from the desecration and overuse caused by unmanaged tourism. This special piece of aina, once a part of the Kona agricultural
I'm just going to warn
field
you, you have a
system-
wasp on your shoulder. Don't swat it.
I felt something. Help. A friendly wasp. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I'll put this like, oh, there we go. To restore, let's see, it's as well as assist us in our efforts to protect Kealakekua and Ka'awaloa from the desecration and from the desecration and overuse caused by unmanaged tourism. This special piece of aina, once a part of the Kona agricultural field system of Kuapehu, will enable us to expand our already existing programs of cultural education, interpretation, and community-based stewardship for Kealakekua and Ka'avaloa from the ocean and shoreline into the Mauka upland regions, solidifying our vision for full Ahupua'a restoration and stewardship of Mauka to Makai connections and resources. For the present generations of lineal descendants, local residents, and visitors, and for the future generations as well. Again, I humbly ask for your support in the passing of Resolution 55226. I leave with the lines of a chant inspired by the Kokua Kealakekua property with intentions that the voice of this Aina will be heard once again and lead the stewardship and management of these special places of Ka'avaloa and Kealakekua. Ai ka ina o kua pehu, pehu I ka vai o la o uka, he hoa o ka uka o manua, pulu pulu I ka ua o ka nahele. Ola. Mahalo nui for this opportunity to submit testimony. Mahalo.
Thank you for your testimony, Ms. Enos. Mr. Araceli, do you have any testimony to provide from courtesy sites or Zoom?
Thank you so much, Mr. Clerk. Chair, just confirming that we do not have testifiers in your remote sites. We do have one testifier via Zoom as well as here in Hilo. That Zoom testifier is Reina Ramolet Hayashi, testifying on Resolution 552. Reina, when you're ready to begin, please feel free to unmute, introduce yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes.
Aloha mai kako. My name is Reina Ramolete Hayashi. I am a Loha'aina project manager at the Trust for Public Land. For those of you that don't know us, we are a nonprofit land conservation organization and we protect land for people. For 50 years, we've worked across Hawaii, protecting over 79,000 acres and 56 special wahipana in partnership with communities. Our Loha'aina program specifically protects lands that perpetuate Hawaiian culture and returns these lands back to Native Hawaiian organizations for community stewardship. And we're here to testify in support of Resolution 552-26 for the county to use PONC funds to acquire a conservation easement over Kokua Kealakekua. We are so incredibly humbled to partner with descendant-led nonprofit Hoala Kealakekua Nui to protect and purchase this aina. This is really a culmination of a decade-long effort by their South Kona community to steward Kealakekua Bay State Park and Marine Life Conservation District using Ike Kupuna. As was shared earlier, the bay is threatened by unmanaged tourism, and this aina will enable Hoala to manage and protect Kealakekua's resources, to reconnect these ohana, many of whom have been pushed out of the bay, to create an interpretive center and really serve as a kipuka for restoration, for educational programs, for both locals and visitors. This property sits just mauka of the Ka'avaloa trailhead or the Captain Cook Monument Trail. And it will really become a gateway that's managed well by the community to access the state park and its cultural landscape. Trust for Public Land will buy the property and transfer it to Hoala Kealakekua Nui, which will own and manage it. And the County of Hawaii will hold a conservation easement over it to protect it in perpetuity. We've helped Hoala already secure $700,000 in matching funds from the State Legacy Land Conservation Program. So it's truly a deal for the county. Hoala has signed a grant agreement with the state, so those funds are secured. And this project was ranked number one by the PONC Commission. So it's really just this resolution that's needed to close the 24 letters of support with our testimony. And we just want to mahalo Councilmember Galimba in particular for all of your support and kokua on this effort. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Mahalo.
Thank you so much for your testimony. Chair, we did have one more testifier, Heather Badgley, here in the Hilo chamber, but it seems like Heather's not here anymore. So with that, those are all the testifiers we have.
Thank you, Mr. Araceli. Keanu Bini Maderas, please come forward by testimony. You can just sit down next to the microphone. It's already activated. She's good to go whenever you are. And if you could just start out by stating your name, you have 3 minutes. Please proceed.
Aloha mai kako, aloha chair and members of the council. My name is Keanu Bini Maderas. I'm a lineal descendant of Kealakekua Bay, a Hoa'aina digital media specialist, and a scientific diver of Hoala Kealakekua Nui. I'm here today in the support of funding the Kokua Kealakekua project. This project will restore cultural and community connections beyond the property's boundaries. So mahalo for the opportunity to testify. I strongly support this. Mahalo.
Thank you very much for your testimony. Shane Palakot Nelson, please come forward by testimony. And you know the drill.
Mahalo. Aloha mai kako. Shane Palakot Nelson, Executive Director and CEO for Hoala Kealakekua Nui. Mahalo for this opportunity, and I'd like to mahalo TPL, Reina, and Councilwoman Michelle for helping us bring this resolution forward. Mama kona I ke kai kau mai kau mako kau upua. Kona is less burdened in having water in the face of the clouds. That means a lot. This is referenced specifically to the area of South Kona, Kapalilua. Most important, including Kealakekua, the resources, they're not just cultural, they're for everyone to enjoy for the future and not just for us today. And so the decisions that we make today is actually for those in the future. And we ask that the county partner with Hoala Kealakekua Nui to make these decisions, not just for us today, but for future generations. Ike kai malino a ehu, honoring the calm and abundant times under the rulership of the chief Ehu, a prominent chief that we embrace today as he provides guiding principles for us to steward those natural resources that we speak about in our songs and in our chants. This particular philosophy guides us to address some of the human impacts on these resources. Over 65,000 people annually, we counted, that go up and down just the trail alone to Kealakekua Bay, which contributes to the 1.3 million annually that come into Kealakekua Bay. Unmanaged, untethered, raw, and worthy for us to manage them. And Hoala Kealakekua Nui is ready to manage this. Whether the government is ready or not, we are. Your community is. And we'd like for you to help us out with that. So please support Resolution 502-26 to help us do this job for you, with you, alongside of you. And with that, I'd like to mention how this will be considered a long-term relationship. Just because you approve this resolution today, that doesn't mean we disappear in the face of this council or the face of this county government. There are more resources that need to be leveraged. As all of you know, the problems that we face right at that very intersection. And so we're coming back to work with the county on how we can improve human management in that area, particularly parking, safety, and access. Mahalo nui. Appreciate the time.
And thank you so much for your testimony. Mr. Araceli, just checking back in to see if our testifier in Gila might have reappeared.
Confirming we do not have any other testifiers, sir.
Thank you for that. Committee Chair Kimball, that is all the testimony we have at this time. Shall we start at the top? Very good. Communication 864, applications for 2026 stewardship grants for county lands acquired through the Public Access Open Space and Natural Resources Preservation Fund. Former Finance Director Diane Nakagawa, dated April 2, 2026, presenting 5 favorable recommendations for qualified nonprofit organizations requesting funding to maintain and provide stewardship for the following parcels. Well, it shouldn't say that, excuse me, acquired through the Public Access Open Space and Natural Resources Preservation Fund.
Motion to close file on communication 864.
Motion by Councilmember Nava, seconded by Councilmember Husis to close file on communication 864. We do have members of the Finance Department in the Hilo chambers if there are questions with regard to their recommendations. Any questions?
Chair,
Yes, go ahead, Councilmember Kirkwood. Thank you.
thank you. Mr. Shapiro, if you'd like to come forward. In full support of the recommendations that are contained in the communication, I was just curious to know how many applicants were there for this stewardship program for this cycle?
Good morning. This is Ben Shapiro, the PONC Program Manager. We received 9 applications this year and moved forward with 5 of them.
Okay, and then and it's noting here that the amounts requested and recommended, not 100% fully funded for all of the requests. Were there certain reasons why some aspects of the requests were not funded?
Yeah, they're more or less, we agreed with all of the requests. The only differences that you'll see are usually quite minor. Some of them for removing transportation-related costs, which is not allowable per the charter and code as it's currently written. And then there was one of the Amy Greenwell, Friends of Amy Greenwell. They had written in there $10,000 for a holiday, and they decided to remove that from their application.
Okay.
So that's the most significant change.
On the transportation side, was this an expense that the county had previously funded?
Under previous grants, there was funding for transportation.
Okay. So we're just trying to get in alignment with what is in code allowable expenses.
Correct.
Okay. And then we have more than 5 properties that have been acquired through the PONC program. So I'm curious to know what sort of work is being done to support additional stewards or to identify stewards for properties that don't have a community organization identified to be the caretaker.
Yeah, that's a great question, and it's a real concern that, we have only 5 grants coming out next year or this year and many more properties. So it's something that we need to work on to help identify or work to identify future stewards or more stewards or share more information about this program, how to access this program, when the application timeline is, how to apply, and get the word out there more that there are funds available and we would welcome more stewardship partners.
Okay, thank you. And then the projects that are being funded for these PONC properties, do they implement like a management or stewardship plan that has been created for each of these sites?
Some sites have management plans, some do not. That is something also we're trying to standardize and formalize through the PONC program overall, including the PONC program taking over ownership of creating management plans and ensuring that each PONC property does have a management plan, and that's something that we're working on.
Great, thank you. I know you're new-ish here.
Yes.
But I'm really excited about all the work that's being done to support this program and all of the community groups that are so passionate about preserving the Aina in their community. Thank you.
Thank you for your support.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Councilmember Onishi.
Okay, thank you, Madam. 2 questions. So first, the PONC was designed to purchase properties to preserve it, right? Anything else was added into, I guess, the charter amendment or the charter to have where future maintenance or programs and all this kind of stuff, or it was created just to purchase these properties to preserve?
Correct. Yes. The PONC program was initially created to purchase lands for preservation. And as I understand, the charter was amended in 2012 to add stewardship grants or funding for stewardship programs, the maintenance fund.
Okay. Then the second question is, like, I've been on the council previous, and I did have some issues when it was under Parks and Rec about who or are you folks really maintaining or taking like kind of like an audit of all the equipment, supplies that you folks, well, they request, these nonprofits. Do you folks do like an inventory check to make sure that they're not just continuous to purchasing the same stuff?
Yes, we are also having these conversations. And so when a request does come in, at least as I've been reviewing these requests, and they do request equipment, we do a review of how long that equipment may last or should last, and to ensure that they're not that stewardship organizations request equipment as they truly need it and when they truly need
But
it.
what about
So
previous?
So that is something that we also were discussing just last week in the finance department about conducting some kind of audit or some kind of survey of inventory to see what's been purchased, where it is,
You know,
and
like
what the
for
status
me,
is.
I would expect this to happen first before you folks start issuing more funding and have like a plan already in place to make sure that moving forward, you folks will be, like having everything, the I's are, dotted, the T's are crossed, right? Instead of continue providing funding and then now you got to go back, right? So I mean, that's how I feel that's how it should be run. Yeah. And so what else are you folks looking at trying to improve or trying to create?
Yeah, well, I mean, you make a fair point, and I think what we're trying to do here is we're trying to balance the timelines of the stewardship grants, the stewardship program as written and as we've been directed to do so, to ensure that we are able to maintain stewardship, at least of the properties that we're able to do so, while continually working to improve the program where we can and how we can. So there's a number of areas, as I mentioned, taking on ownership of management plans, possibly doing an auditory of equipment, working on developing quick management programs for newly acquired lands where organizations with outside of the grant program are able to access the properties to conduct stewardship programming, among another improving or auditing or improving reporting requirements, templates for forms, working with stewards to better fill out the applications.
And just for the public's notification or the public's knowledge, can you explain to the public how much money from our tax or our revenue source that is going into punk and how much percent of that is going towards maintenance?
Sure. Yeah, the PONC program for acquisition, the acquisition fund is 2% of real property taxes. For the maintenance fund, it's 0.25% of property taxes.
Okay, thank you. I yield, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Councilmember. Going over here to Councilmember Inaba.
Thank you. Are we going to be seeing a resolution from the finance department with all of these grant awards?
It's in the Finance Committee agenda.
Oh, understood. Thank you.
Councilmember Carnegie E. Kleinfeld.
I'm sorry, what is your name again, Nilo?
My name, Ben Shapiro.
Ben, you were recently at a Puna Community Development Plan Action Committee meeting, providing information to the public. I just wanted to commend you for doing a good job. So thank you for being so informative and for having information at your fingertips for different items as they may come up. But you really were a wealth of information at that community meeting, as well as being very helpful today in keeping us on task and having all the information regarding our preservation and open space fund and maintenance stewardship fund. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Galimbo. Oh, it doesn't sound like you're working again here. I'll share.
So yes, I just wanted to jump on the Ben Shapiro's awesome bandwagon. So he came out to Ka'u for an event and did a great job there, as well as handling some other things that are coming up around Punaluu, which is our favorite thing to talk about there in Ka'u. So thank you so much, Ben.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Any further comments? Seeing none, I will agree with my colleagues. You've been a great addition to the county, Mr. Shapiro. We're glad to have you guiding us through the PONC program. It's been something that's been needed for a while, and you've been doing an excellent job so far. With that, I will take the vote. All those in favor of closing file and communication 864, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Mr. Clerk, you have 8 ayes. Councilmember Kagiwara is absent. Next item, please.
Is there any testimony for resolution 503-26? Hearing none, resolution 503-26 accepts the dedication of a roadway lot identified as lot 7A2, being a portion of property identified as tax map key 28007085, situated at Pepeakeo and Makahanaloa, District of South Hilo, Island County, and State of Hawaii. The landowner seeks to dedicate the roadway and all improvements for public road purposes, introduced by Councilmember Kimball by request.
Chair, motion to forward resolution 503-26 to council with a favorable recommendation.
Motion by Councilmember Inaba, second by Councilmember Hustis to approve Resolution 530 and forward to council with a favorable recommendation. This is in my district, but Director Sagawa is here to answer any questions. It is a piece of roadway that connects Old Mamalahoa to Highway 19 that we kind of need to fix and to maintain that public access. So I'm supportive, but if there are any questions, please direct them to Mr. Sagawa. All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Mr. Clerk, you have 9 ayes. On to the next item, please.
Is there any additional testimony for resolution 552-26? Hearing none, resolution 552-26 authorize Director of Finance to enter into negotiations for the acquisition of lands or conservation easements for all or a portion of the properties identified as tax map keys 81009007 and 008, also known as Kokua Kealakekua, situated in Apua of Ka'awaloa, District of South Kona, utilizing the Public Access Open Space and Natural Resources Preservation Fund. County seeks to acquire approximately 1.26 acres of land listed as the highest priority in the 2025 annual report of the Public Access Open Space and Natural Resources Preservation Commission, introduced by Councilmember Galimba.
Motion to forward resolution 552-26 to the council with a favorable recommendation.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Galimba, seconded by Councilmember Villegas to forward Resolution 522 to council with a favorable recommendation. Councilmember Galimba.
I'm just going to keep this brief since we're sharing the microphone here, and I think this our testifiers did a great job of making the case. I'm just so honored. It's such a privilege to get to be a part of this effort. It is a small but strategic piece of property that we're going to get a lot of benefit. And this is just an amazing example of community-led, government-supported initiative to make Kealakekua and the world a better place.
Thank you, Councilmember. Any further comments? Councilmember Villegas.
Just quickly, I want to echo those sentiments and say mahalo to you folks for showing up today, for your testimony, and for sharing with us the Oli. I found it personally very soothing and kind of cleansing after some of the challenges this morning. And just am so grateful for cultural practices, Olelo Hawaii, and this opportunity to return, remember, realign, recalibrate, and yeah, just thank you so much. I yield.
Thank you, Councilmember Villegas. Councilmember Inaba.
Thank you, Chair. Just also want to express my mahalo. Many of the folks here in chambers today, beyond advocating for this parcel, have been integral in showing up at the state legislature this year as part of our efforts to ban aquarium fish collections statewide. And folks like Anu and I went to school together from when we were kids, and we're still here today doing this good work. So mahalo to you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Inaba, for bringing that forward. Anyone else? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of forwarding Resolution 552-26 to council with a favorable recommendation, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Mr. Clerk, you have 9 ayes. Measure passes. With that, we are finished with our agenda. The time is now 12:41. We are adjourned. The Finance Committee will begin shortly. Thank you.